Hi, it's the D.
Hey, it's Ron White. How are you?
I love that you call yourself, man. That's kick ass.
Oh, what, other people don't do that?
Well, yeah, a lot of people are like, I have Sir Elton John on the phone for you. Would you like to speak with him? And they put you on hold for 10 minutes and you got to wait. It sucks.
Oh yeah, no, I actually look at the clock, and when I'm supposed to call, I call.
That's great, man. Ron White, I should say legendary Ron White. You were one of the greatest comedians out there, and I don't, want to be like other radio guys who just kiss your ass all the time. But dude, you really are one of the greatest out there, I believe.
Oh well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I've been grooving on Detroit for a long time. I used to play Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle over there in Orlando.
Oh wow.
One of the best comedy clubs in the U.S. Ridley's and Ridley the best comedy club owner there is. And
right.
always treats his comics with a lot of respect, and
that's rare because you get a lot of these owners. It's like you got another scumbag comedian coming here, and they just kind of bully you around, thinking that they're hot shots.
Yeah, they really do, and and Ridley's never that way. It's always been a good base for comics anyway, out of Detroit, and so they're always bringing you in, put you in a really good hotel. And everybody else is putting you in an apartment.
And I'm sure that because you struggled as a comedian for a long time. I'm sure that you've stayed in just some dumps.
Oh yeah, right. Well, I used to play this game. I used to play these one-nighters, and I'd play this game. I wouldn't even look at a sheet. I would drive down the main street in that town and look at the hotels, pick out the shittiest one, and that was always. And I was always right. I would try to guess my hotel by which one was the crappiest.
Right.
And I was right almost every time. So yeah, it's different now. And as a young comic, you really do remember those people that treated you well.
Right. You still live in Dallas, Texas?
Part of the time I'm there, I live in Georgia, Southern California.
Oh, you got houses all over the place.
I live in a bus because I do 140 cities a year, so I'm always touring.
Tell me about I want to know about these buses because I've always wanted to go inside one. I snuck inside Britney Spears' tour bus when I was like 16. And I almost got my ass kicked, but I want to hear about your tour bus.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not as nice as Britney Spears, but
yeah, hers smelled like feet.
Oh, mine will smell like weed. My bus is cool. I mean, it's a Prevost bus, so they're, it's the same chassis that you'd find in a Greyhound bus. They're set up to run 1 million miles. So
and how much is that? If you don't mind me asking, how much does that run you because you bought it yourself, right?
Yeah, I bought it. I think mine was like $900,000.
Jesus.
But Larry the Cable Guys was $2.5 million. So you can, and I don't, I don't need a $2.5 million bus, but because my bus is beautiful and it's smooth, and it just doesn't. He's got like a pull-out barbecue thing, and it's a 4-slide out. Mine just slides out in the living room, but it is beautiful, and I loved it. But I just don't feel the need to go ahead and spend that much money. But I dig it.
You speaking of the other guys from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, I know that I watch the specials on TV a lot, and at the end, 3 of the guys would come out and do the question and answers thing with the crowd, but you wouldn't come out with them. Why was that?
Well, no, I always came out at the end.
Oh, you did? I thought there was one on TV. I thought it was just the 3 of them.
Well, they did some shows. They did this thing called Them Idiots World Tour, and I was not a part of that.
Is there a chance that you guys would do another Blue Collar Comedy Tour? I mean, it was legendary, that tour.
Well, yeah, it was legendary, and it got most of us where we are today, and which is fantastic. And I love the boys, but I'm a little rowdy for them. And they all have corporate images, and they all do very clean comedy, and I'm just rowdier.
They don't want to tour with you again, or you don't want to tour with them again? What is?
It's really more than that. It's a matter of, me writing 25 minutes of really clean, really good stuff, which I'm not that good at. And then their manager is a scumbag, and he's the one that promotes the tour, and I wouldn't work for him for all the tea in China.
Wow.
Not to put too fine a point on it.
Right, well, yeah. Do you actually, because you've been doing the comedy for so long, and your stand-up is so conversational and it's storytelling, do you actually sit down and write this out, or do you just remember the story as it happened and you just recall it as you remember it?
Well, I never write it out. That would take discipline, and I have none of that. You're right. I mean, that's very astute of you. It's conversational, but it appears conversational. It's not conversational at all. It's a very specific plan. My style just makes it look like I'm not doing stand-up, which is a trick.
And that's what I like about it, because you're up there, you got a cigar in your hand, you got some scotch. Right. I mean, I love that.
It's a trick. The cigar is just a great reason not to be talking. Pauses are, comedy's all about the pause, and the cigar is just a great reason not to be talking, and a great misdirection tool. And yeah, the stories. I'm closing now with this 15-minute long story about me falling off of Dr. Phil's yacht in Monaco.
Oh, you hang out with Dr. Phil?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
In Monaco. That sounds fancy.
Yeah, real fancy.
Does the guy ever try to break you down like, Ron, here's your problem? Do you ever just go, Doc, shut up?
Yeah, no. Doc, people ask me if Doc gives unsolicited advice. He doesn't even give solicited advice.
He's like, you're not paying me, I'm not saying anything.
Right. Well, I was going through a horrible divorce, and I was playing golf with Doc one day, and I said, Doc, this divorce is about to kill me. He goes, keep your head still when you putt. I'm like, oh yeah, that'll probably fix it. Thanks.
Thanks, Doc. Yeah, wow. But you've been through some rough divorces. How many now?
40.
No, what?
No, I'm not 40. What? I've been. I don't know. There was that tall chick. What was her name? Beth. Rebecca. I don't remember. I don't know. There's been 3 or 4.
How much? And if you don't mind me asking, how much money do you think you've lost in all the divorces put together?
Oh, I only lost money in one of them.
Good for you.
Yeah, because my first wife, we were married for 12 years, and she bore my child. She got a dryer out of the whole thing.
You get a dryer, and you can take the George Foreman. I'll get the hell out.
Right. It's time to go. So then I was married to one for 3.5 years, no kids, but it was the 3.5 years that I made a buttload of money, and she got a bunch of it. So, but,
doesn't that just chap your hide, though?
Things are still great. I got no problem with it.
But doesn't that make you crazy? Like when I read stories about, like Tiger Woods' wife got half of his money, and Hulk Hogan's wife got half of what he has. It just makes me crazy.
The problem I had was that the lawyers got $1.6 million. That's what made me sick.
It's ridiculous. I can't stand lawyers.
Yeah, I can't either, man. It just I was doing a meet and greet. This poor lady, she goes, I know you hate lawyers, and I'm a divorce lawyer, and I just fucking busted on her. You can take your kids home and kill them if they're going to grow up to be useless. Here's why the divorce lawyer is worse than an ambulance chaser. An ambulance chaser still cares who wins at the end of the day.
Right.
But a divorce lawyer doesn't because the money's already been paid, and they go have a drink afterwards and split up the money. So, yeah, I said some pretty rude things to both of them.
Well, they deserve it. I mean, they are scum. I truly believe that lawyers are scum.
There you go, man. I'm on the same page with you.
We're on the phone with Ron White. I'll let you go here in just a second, but I want to ask you a question about this. I don't know if you heard about this police scandal that's going on here in Detroit. Our police chief, Ralph Godby, has resigned because apparently he got caught up hooking up with subordinates, and apparently one of his girls that he was hooking up with found out that he was fooling around with other chicks. She put on his uniform, put his gun in her mouth, took a picture of it, and then tweeted the photo.
No shit.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a huge ordeal the past few weeks here in Detroit.
And so he resigned. Oh my God! Well, you just never know, man. You never know what you're going to get away with and what you're
crazy.
not going to get away with, do you?
So you should probably bring that up when you're here at the Fox Theater coming up on the 13th.
Yeah. By the way, you guys have the biggest, baddest theater in the country. There's 3 big Foxes left, and the prettiest one's the Fox in Detroit. It's always fun to come back there and bang a show out.
It's so weird to hear someone say there's something pretty in Detroit. It's
oh, well, I always saw it from Royal Oaks, so that's pretty nice over there.
Yeah, we're not too far from that actually right now. I live in Farmington Hills, which is also
But the Fox in Detroit literally is, in my opinion, the most beautiful theater in America.
Ron, you are one of the coolest guys I've ever talked to. Let me tell you why I think you're one of the coolest guys.
You bet.
I've talked to you. Tell me more about me. I've talked to a lot of people, and they just like Patton Oswalt. I think he's a funny comedian, but when he comes on radio, he just talks down to the guys because he thinks radio people are retarded and ridiculous. And a lot of them are. I'm going to completely agree. A lot of people in radio are just tool bags, but. I appreciate you being so chill, and you seem very even though you're a superstar, you seem like someone I could have a beer with and maybe get a little high with.
Yeah, well, that's my MO right there. What Patton might not realize, there's probably a lot of things Patton doesn't realize, and I think Patton's fine. I mean, he's funny as he needs to be, I guess. But radio people hold the keys to the kingdom, right?
Right.
Because, for free, I can get on your radio show and tell people about my show coming up.
No, this is free? I thought we were getting paid for this. My fault.
No. This is gratis. I think either way, I'm in. But radio is the keys to the kingdom, and if you don't have radio support, then you're going to be kind of lost when you're out there trying to let people know you're in town.
Ron White will be at the Fox Theater here in Detroit on Saturday, October 13th. Tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com. Ron, I cannot wait to see you again live. You're one of the best comedians out there. I wish you a long and successful career. I don't know why you showed up in Sex and the City, too. I have not a clue in the world. I'm assuming for the paycheck.
No, I barely got paid anything to do it. Now, I didn't know anything about the movie. Like, literally, when I got that role, the guy goes, well, are you familiar with Sex and the City 1? I said, no, I never saw that. He goes, well, I'm sure you watched the Sex and the City HBO television program.
Yeah, because that's what Ron White does.
Not one episode.
Yeah, that's what Ron White does. He sits around and watches Sex and the City like a chick.
And paint my toenails and do my hair.
Come on.
But anyway, I did it because I thought it was an interesting choice, and I thought it'd be fun to do, and it was. But what wasn't fun was to go to the world premiere at Radio City Music Hall, which is a room I headlined by myself.
Yeah.
And sit there. They said the red carpet at 6. Well, we don't do that kind of stuff. My wife and I. My wife's singer-songwriter, Margot Ray. She has more talent than anybody alive.
Wow.
So we get there at 6, and nobody really cares about us, because if it's movies, it's not comedy.
Yeah.
They don't care about me. So we just walk right straight through the thing, barely get photographed. So at 6:05, we're in our seats in the beautiful, gigantic theater, and the show didn't start till 8:30. It was 2 hours and 35 minutes long. I was about to shoot myself. If I'd had a gun, it'd have been over.
I'd leave right in the middle of the
I tried to, dude.
Yeah, I'd leave.
My part's up front. My part is way up front, and whenever my part got through, I leaned over to Mario and said, hey, let's just get out of here. Go to a bar.
But that would probably look a little tacky.
Well, but yeah, because she goes, they just got through saying your name, and you need to weep. So we sat there through the whole boring yawn fest. I'd rather watch Kenny G.
Ron, can't wait to see you when you're here, man. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, buddy. I'm looking forward to coming back to the big Motor City.
Yeah. Oh, can I get you a liner from you real quick?
Hey, it's Ron White. You're listening to my friend Tanner on the D.